Alex Sotiropoulos here with the big man on campus this big weekend for Matt Johnson. Matt, first off, when did you know during the Emory game that things were just going so well for you?
I think there were a couple shots in the first half where actually the Emory coach started talking to me a little bit on the court where I hit a few in front of their bench and he said, nice. He told me, nice shot. There was nothing I want my guy to do more on defense, and he still hit it. So, and then at halftime, I think I hit one right before we went into the locker room, and I think I had 20 points, and I was feeling pretty good at that point where if I got a good look, it felt like it was going down.
So the point where you actually tied the record and then broke the record was off of free throws, but you guys were still down. I think it was around 2:30 left in the game. And you guys were down by about 4 points when you got it. What was going through your mind when you broke it?
I heard the announcement, and we were in the timeout, and I was really just focused on what we were talking about in that timeout. And I think we were getting ready to get a stop on defense or try and get a steal and foul, and I was just thinking of the ways that we could pull the win out. We had just had a game against Brandeis where I tied the record, and we ended up losing, and I just didn't want that feeling after the game of the frustration of a loss. So I was really just focused on what it was going to take to win that game.
And of course, tying the record was 44 points. You got 49 against Emory on Friday. Talk to me a little bit about the timeout where you guys were down 101-100, and then the Emory guy was up for his second shot in the double bonus because he missed his first.
Right.
I've heard Coach McGrath. I just had an interview with him today, and he told me that there wasn't anything too much design, but they wanted to get the ball in your hands, which of course ended up happening.
Sure. Yeah, we went to the free throw line, and Grevin from Emory missed the shot, and as we were going into the timeout, I just had a really good feeling that we were going to pull it out, that they'd kind of left the door open for us. And my teammates were really confident in me, and when Coach said that we're going to try and get me the ball, they told me to go out and hit it. And we had a play designed to get the defense going on one side, getting them going one way, and then reverse the ball and hopefully get me streaking down the sideline. And we were able to execute it pretty well.
Can you take me through this final 6 seconds? I mean, the two Emory guards, I think it was Friedberg, and I can't remember the other one off the top of my head right now. They weren't pursuing the double team as aggressively as they could have, just because it would have been a double bonus, and right there you could have tied the game. So you saw a little room there. You got past half court, and
right.
It ended up happening. Can you take me through those 6 seconds?
Sure. Yeah, what Coach designed was how to get the ball in, because we knew they were going to try and deny and not make the pass easy. So we just kind of reversed the court and then came back the other way and got me the ball. And then I had my man on me, and the inbounder's man was there to apply pressure as well. So I tried to just get them on their heels and start taking them to the right side of the court and then cross over and go to the left. And I looked up at the clock, and I remember distinctly seeing 2 seconds. And I was still pretty far from the basket, but I thought, I got to get a good look. I got to try and get a good look. And I don't think they wanted to foul in that situation, like you mentioned. So I just kind of took one step back, got my feet set, and it felt good when I left my hands. So.
And you're big with the one step back for big shots. I'm sure you remember that NYU game last year where you took the step back.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. But let's talk a little bit about after the game. About 2 hours later, it was announced that the play would be on SportsCenter. When did you specifically find out? Did you find out before the rest of the UChicago community?
Yeah, I got a text from our assistant coach, Coach Adams, that he heard from Dave Hilbert, our information director, that he had gotten word from ESPN that it was either going to be on the Sports Center that I think was finishing at 1 a.m. And this was at about 12:30, I think, and that was either going to be on that top 10 or the next one. So I was watching it with a lot of my teammates, and I let them know that we might be seeing it in about 15 minutes. So we all were kind of sitting on the edge of our seats and letting all our friends know that it might happen. And there's a little disappointment when it wasn't on that first one, but I stayed up for another hour and saw it, and it was kind of surreal to hear them saying my name. And Neil Everett, the anchor who called it, actually is one of my favorites. And it was fun that he didn't just call it like another normal play, and got excited about it, and it was just really fun to hear my name being called.
Can you give us your imitation of what he said? Because I really liked it.
I think he described the game a little bit and the scenario. He said, "At the buzzer, my name's Matt Johnson. I hit 49 points." Something like that. But he obviously did better than I did. But it was fun, and I had a lot of friends calling me and repeating that line in the days to come. So it's pretty cool.
Now, Sunday, let's just one question on this. One of my friends described it best as, did Matt have the plague because you only got 36 points? What was happening in that game?
Yeah, I mean, I probably got people's hopes up a little too much with the previous two games, and I knew Rochester was gonna try and take things away, and they did. They went box and one a little bit, and really tried to deny the ball on certain plays, and I ended up having to get a lot of my points at the free throw line, and ended up with 36, I think. But it was good to be able to close out another close win, and we know we needed those two games that weekend to stay in the race here.
And finally, can we expect an 100-point game very soon?
I don't think any coach is going to let that happen, especially Emory and Rochester this weekend. But as long as we can get 2 more wins, I'll be happy.
Well, there you have it. Matt Johnson's perspective on the amazing victory that makes him the big man on campus all this week, hopefully all this year. Maybe more people will jump on the bandwagon and come to the games. Maroons tip off against Emory on Friday, Rochester on Sunday.